I like making tents for D&D. It's a nice little portable thing you can have for a bandit camp or whatever you need. So let me show you how I make mine. For these builds or any kind of builds, whatever you're using, whether it's dowels, toothpicks, or sticks, you want to shave them up and you want to cut them around, do what you need to do with them, get them to your lengths, get them to your sizes. For me, I'm doing a war tent similar to one you would find in Skyrim, like the Imperial tents. Once you got all your dowels or sticks or whatever cut, make sure you line them up, find them where you want, and set up the base. Get something glued together, similar to what I've done here. Next, you want to line up your back entrance of your tent. Make sure that they're the same size. The dowel going across the top doesn't have to be the same, but if you want it to be symmetrical, do your best to line them up. They don't have to be equal though. Now attach the two using another set of dials. Make them as long as you want, doesn't matter how long, as long as they stay attached and make sure it stays stable. For this tent, I made an angled roof, similar to a lot of tents, like when you have a stick kind of in the middle of it, holding it up. That's essentially what this is, except I just put it attached to the base. So I put two across, making an X shape, gluing them on, and I did it for both sides. After completing both sides, I decided to take a stick, just glue it across the top. Then I take the trim and I just trim off the sides of the sticks to make sure they're not so pointy, so stabby. You know, you don't really want to get stabbed while you're building this kind of stuff, and it needs to look a little nicer to be more professional in terms of a military army. Okay, so this step that you're about to see has probably been my favorite step for making tents, whether it's a nice uniform tent or a wicked wild tent you'd see in like an orc outfit bandit camp kind of thing. Uh, Basically take regular water and regular glue, I don't know if there's anything other than regular water, mix them together at a 50-50 ratio, maybe even a little bit more water, I'd say, dump them into a little bowl, take a piece of construction paper or cardboard paper, or whatever you use. I got this stuff from Walmart. It's amazing. It's really thin. The thinner it is for me, the better. Then you dip it in the glue, scrunch it up, make it all wrapped up and nice, and then you just drape it over top of your work. It'll then dry and look great. For the front or back of this, you just want to cut out the shape of whatever the building is of your tent, and then just cut in little grooves so that you can wrap the paper around and make sure it glues nice and form to the building itself. Like I said, you want to do the same for the front, but I opened mine up, so just basically take the ends and roll them up, and make a little slit in it so you can see inside. So now we move on to my spray booth where I take a black primer and cover the entire thing in black paint. You don't have to do this if you're using a red cardboard paper or whatever construction paper you're using. I only did it because of the dowels. I wanted to be able to see what parts I miss when I go to paint them for real. So I again moved to a different spray booth, more specifically my handmade, very shabbily put together, hand spray airbrush booth. Uh, all I'm really doing here is putting a coat of blue on top of the tent to give it a little bit of a shiny color as its base color. The wood I'm going to do a separate color, and I'm going to do some more dirt coloring, give it a little white coloring, you'll see that later. But for now, just enjoy, I guess, this minute-long clip of me just spraying blue onto this black tent. Like I said before, I'm going to add more paint to it as I go on, and here's the step where I add a little bit of a nice white shine to try and make it look more lived in, more used, like the white is the blue fading away kind of deal. As well as later you'll see another step I take to make this thing look more lived in, more used. It's been taken up, put down a bunch of times. Adding more paint to make it pop is essentially what you want to do with anything you build, honestly. Give it more of a shine. It's kind of like a dry brushing just with a, well, aerosol paint. Next, I take a brown and a very dirt looking color. It actually ended up being a little bit more gold and shiny, a little bit too much, but it's okay. I took the gold, I sprayed the wood and got the tips of it, I went inside, did the same thing, and I also went across all the edges of the tent to try and simulate a dirt, so that when it's on the table, on the battle mats, you have a dirt looking tent with blue, nice shading colors. This is my other attempt at trying to make it look more lived in and used and taken up, put down, all that kind of stuff. And honestly, this is the end of all the steps I take to make this thing look a little better. I do a black wash a little later. However, that footage and a lot of other footage in the video was unfortunately deleted or corrupt. So this is the end of that. However, I will show you the finished product completely with some other ones that I've done after this clip. So there you go, everyone. These are the finished products of all the tents that I've made so far. My favorite one is the tallest one that kind of looks like a giraffe. I really enjoy that one. With that, you want to just be wild with the shapes of what you're building. That's the most important thing I'd say. When it comes to building tents, be wild with it. Whatever you have in your mind, do your best to go for it. You don't have to be symmetrical. Just do what you want to do. Have fun with it. And if you're doing that kind, I'd say when you're doing the construction paper, just rip it apart and glue it on. Do that whole deal again. Just do it tearing, ripping, and then yeah, little different, little fun. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please come back for more. I will be doing a craft video once a month, so please come back and have more fun. And with that, I bid everyone who came and watched my craft video a farewell. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a comment. If you guys enjoyed this video, subscribe. If you didn't like the video, you don't have to do any of that. But if you did like the video, stick around, because once a month, like I said, I'll be doing more of these. Soul Hero out.